How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, it's so good to see you guys. All right, tonight I want to talk. This is kind of impromptu. We're going to see how it goes, but I was thinking like Jeff Foxworthy, and I was thinking, you might be a content creator if. So let's go. If you filmed for 2 hours before realizing the mic was off, you might be a content creator. If you have ever recorded an entire video and forgot to press record, you might be a content creator. If your face looks great, but your camera was on webcam instead of DSLR, you might be a content creator. If your mic costs more than your first car, you might be a content creator. Let's make sure my mic's working. Speaking of mics, sound levels. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Suddenly I got worried. If your cable drawer could draw power for NASA, you might be a content creator. If you've spent 20 minutes filming a 30-second short, you might be a content creator. If you narrate your daily life in your head like it's a vlog, you might be a content creator. Now, do any of these resonate with you? Tell me. Do they resonate with you? Is this the kind of thoughts that go through your head, the kind of stuff that happens with you? Is this you might be a content creator if these things are true for you. So let's head out here and let's see what everybody's saying in the comments here. Thank you everybody for being here tonight. Let's see here. Greetings. Hey, and Matt Haas in the house. Kind of Wild. You have a fun YouTube channel name. Yeah, Kind of Wild does have a fun YouTube channel name. Wow, man. Love audio production, man. This is kind of late for you, buddy. Welcome. Paul, I'm glad to see you here. Hello again, Matt. Hello, guys from Colorado. Yeah, Kind of Wild one. It's Mommy Guy. Hi, everyone. Matt Haas. Hey, Roy. Hi, friends. Stuart. Tanya. How are you doing? Man, she was fantastic recovering from technical glitches that happened tonight. I mean, just fantastic. So I told her she was recover like a boss because she did fantastic on her show. Matt says, yes, I do have a lot of cables. Stuart's laughing. Yep. Hey, is that your IT hat? This is my IT hat. Yes, it is. So let's take a look here. All right. Wait on that comment to go away. Hey. All right. Let's talk. If you've ever said smash that like button in real life, you might be a content creator. Well, that's funny. Why is this a comment? I go, hey, go away. Here we go. Okay, it was an awesome comment, though. If you filmed something 5 times and still said, I hate my voice, you might be a content creator. If you panic when a perfect sunset appears and you're not mic'd up, you might be a content creator. If your B-roll is more organized than your taxes, you might be a content creator. And this was definitely true for me. If your spouse says not everything is content at least once a week, you might be a content creator. Drop it in the chat. What are some things that might tell the world that you're a content creator? What's going to be that dead giveaway? If you keep filming just one more take until the sun goes down, you might be a content creator. If your neighbors think you're a motivational speaker because they hear your hook 12 times in a row, you might be a content creator. If you check your YouTube analytics more often than you check your bank account, you might be a content creator. I'm just saying. I'm like so horrible. I check my content, I check my YouTube analytics so much. It's bad. I wake up in the morning and I try to read my Bible verses first, and then I look at my YouTube analytics to see how I did overnight. It's just terrible. Yeah. So yeah, let's got some comments out there. Let's see. Tech apocalypse, my new word. I love that. That's great. Miss Denise, how are you doing? Hello, Tech and Chat. I got more cables than you, Nan. I don't. You probably do. Being what you do for a living, you probably do. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna give you that one. My guy says, "Hey, Roy, Matt, Stuart, Tanya, Laura, Paul." You're giving Jeff Foxworthy a run for his money. Yeah, I just came up with this. I was like, what is it? I got the Jeff Foxworthy. Yeah, I see the world in scenes. Oh, that should be a wide shot. This can be a close up. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, that's true. So let's pull that comment back and go here. Yep. All right. Oops. Back to my BCam. Okay. If you dip and your click-through rate ruins your whole weekend, you might be a content creator. If you said this video is going to blow up and it only got 27 views, you might be a content creator. If you refresh your shorts feed like the slot machine, you might be a content creator. If you know what CTR, AVD, and an APV mean before your morning coffee, you might be a content creator. If you have said this is the one about your last 5 videos, you might be a content creator. If you get imposter syndrome while giving advice to creators, you might be a content creator. If you made a video about burnout while you were burned out, you might be a content creator. If you have ever considered rebranding your whole channel at 2 a.m., you might be a content creator. If you have considered changing your niche mid-live stream, you might be a content creator. If your vision board has a YouTube play button on it, you might be a content creator. If you have decorated your office with RGB lights and one fake plant, you might be a content creator. I'm just saying. If you own more LED lights than lamps, you might be a content creator. If you bought a camera lens before fixing the leak in the roof, you might be a content creator. This one's so true for me. If your room is a mess, but your background is immaculate, you might be a content creator. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Miss Denise, kind of wild. Welcome. Hey, Mommy Guide. I am very confused by the stand-up routine. Hi, all. Hey, John, how you doing? Hey, Mommy Guide. I'm always thinking this could be a video or be the content. Yes, me too. I'm always thinking like that. So it's crazy that way. If you give people motion sickness by switching cameras every 5 seconds, you might be a content creator, and guilty as charged. I definitely do scenes, maybe not cameras, but I definitely do scenes. The cable that connects my Thunderbolt hub to the electrical outlet is super heavy duty. It can power NASA. Yeah. These are fun. I know, I'm enjoying this. You need at least 2 fake plants for it to count. That's true. That is true. I know all those alphabet. And heck yeah, to the vision board. Yeah. Yes. It's on my vision board. It is. Gosh, this is such a nice list. I'm going down memory lane. If you have gas, gear acquisition syndrome, You might be a content creator. It's true. I've looked at thumbnails with serif typefaces and became very angry. There you go. If you've looked at thumbnails with serif typefaces and became very angry, you might be a content creator. It's true. Yeah. All right. Okay. If you laugh at more than 3 of these, you're not just a content creator, but you are one of us. Welcome to the content creator community. Yeah, it's funny that, but here we are. We go through these things. We want perfection. We want our background perfect. We want our lights to be perfect. You can just take your cell phone and record a video, or you can, if your show has gone off the rails and you manage to get it back on the rails, you might be a content creator. If you have 3 stream decks, you might be a content creator. If you have multiple webcams in a drawer and still have 2 cameras, you might be a content creator. Like John says, yeah. If you have your own merch, you might be a content creator. Dagan says, I kind of got away from YouTube except for my live streams and do a lot of short form content on other platforms, mostly on Flip. I see you a bunch on Instagram, sir. I watch your the day of what the day is. If you have a drawer full of unedited SD cards, you might be a content creator. If your hard drive is always full because of videos you're working on, you might be a content creator. If you've had to buy 2 NAS devices just to back up videos that you will probably never do anything else with, you might be a content creator. Matt says, I've become obsessed with a topic and started a YouTube channel. I've done this many times. I really need to stop. Yeah, John, if you own 6+ microphones and only 1 mouth, then you might be a content creator. La. Hey, Dagan. Hey, John. I mean, this is this is so true. I was just thinking about all the things that we go through as content creators. If it's a crazy world, but I love content creation. I love being on YouTube. I love when I make a video that people comment on and say, that was exactly what I needed. I had that on a video today. I was so excited about that. I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. And I tell them, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you get joy when somebody leaves you a comment, even if it's a negative comment, you might be a content creator. If your video gets 98% likes and 2% dislikes, and only you know it, but you're still happy about it because it's engagement, you might be a content creator. I'm just saying. Identify microphones and I see on TV and the news. Yes, if your online subscription rate is more than your mortgage, from Epidemic Sound and all the streaming tools you buy, yes, you might be a content creator. It's true. It's true. If your new computer costs more than either your cars you've owned in your lifetime, you might be a content creator. I've only bought 1 computer that actually costs more than my first car. So the rest of them have been pretty reasonable. But yeah, if you bought a second camera because you wanted to have 2 angles in your live stream, even though it probably doesn't even make sense to do that, you might be a content creator. So like I got this OBSBot Tiny 2 is my second camera, because for some reason I decided that I had to have one. I had to have one here because I got one there. And so, and then I created a scene just where I could like flip back and forth between the two cameras like I'm on a news program. Sorry if I gave you whiplash there. I wasn't trying to. So, yeah. I'm becoming enraged with people with condenser mics don't have sound treated rooms. Yes. Ouch, K-Walk, that hit home. Subscription costs, haha. Oh no, the mortgage and the new computer. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's just insane. How's the Ozbot going? I saw you made a video, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. It was just me playing around, John. Don't go back and watch that. Unless you want to just see me making a fool of myself and playing around with scenes and stuff. I mean, you're welcome to do that if that brings you joy, John. I don't want to take that away. So, it's the content creation game is it is what it is. I was just thinking today about how I have a love-hate relationship for YouTube, and that's what made me think about. I was literally said, if you do this, you might be a content creator, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's like a Jeff Foxworthy kind of routine there. And I thought, yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope all you guys are awesome. So here I have my Sony ZV-10, and then here I have the Ozbot Tiny 2, which I love this camera. I've been playing with it. I justified it in my mind because I also teach college classes, and so I love the whiteboard mode. So when I'm teaching an online class, I'll be able to walk up to the whiteboard and say, "Focus on the whiteboard," and then I love the zoom option. So like I can do this, and it'll zoom out. I can do this, and it'll zoom back in, and really like that. But the one thing I don't like, and some people mention this in the comments, only a content creator would mention this. There's too much headspace between the top of the frame and my head. See, so when I go back to the Sony, it's in line. Well, I got it. Well, I got my desk a little high tonight, so yeah. But yeah, it's that's the funniness. If you own an M-chip Mac, M1, M2, M3, or M4, you might be a content creator. You might be a content creator if you tell people not to watch your videos. Yeah, I just have respect for folks. I'm like, it was just me goofing around. If that's what you wanted to see, then yeah, it was me goofing around for about 22 minutes. And so, yeah. Can I lower it? Well, the catch is that regardless of what I do with it, it will refocus. If I focus on my face, it will put that buffer back there again. So I have it mounted on so I had like a ratchet mount, and so I put it there, and I have it between my two monitors. So let's see. If you're willing to throw a third camera into the mix on the fly, you might be a content creator. So let's see here. HubSpot. Let's go here. It's not seeing my. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to this scene. I was gonna see if I could get this camera in the mix. Camera. Okay, it doesn't see my iPhone right now. I was going to put my iPhone in there and show you. I was going to show you what my studio setup looks like right now. Anyway, fine. Just be that way. If I set my phone down, it'll suddenly join the stream because it just does that for some stupid reason. I don't know. But I do like it. I do like the Ozbot. I was trying to figure out what to do with the camera stuff. So yeah. Anyway. But yeah. Yeah, can you lower it? We've got it mounted on. Yep. I see. That sounds straight. It's as tricky as it sounds. I mean, I was trying to get at a certain level, eye level wise. Let's see. I find that I'm so spoiled by my Sony ZV-10 that most webcam quality disappoints me. This is 4K 30, so I'm pretty happy with it. So I like it. I think the picture's pretty good. This is the OBSBot right now, 4K, and so hopefully this looks good. Anyway, that's it. Tonight I had to go later because of family, and if you got to choose between live streaming and family, I'm supposed to choose family. If you don't, then you're the wrong kind of content creator. But I had some stuff going on with family tonight, so I had to go later, and so I decided to do this abbreviated show. But I do appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Thank you so much. I hope you got a kick out of that. I would love for you, if you're watching this on Team Replay, #Team Replay, leave it in the comments. What's your, if you do this, you might be a content creator. I'd love to hear it. And, the best one, I'll pin it at the top of the video so everybody sees it. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great night. I'm supposed to tell you some call to action. Hit that like button. There you go. That's what I want. I want you to hit the like button on this video if you liked my Jeff Foxworthy homage. So everybody have a great week. Thank you so much for coming by. I know this is a little off for me, but I thought about doing like a stand-up. I was going to do it stand-up style. I was going to have my mic. I got a Highland mic and been loving it. Oh, that sounds awesome. I've been thinking about getting the Highland mic. I have the original DJI wireless mic set, and so I've started using it more to justify the money I spent on it a long time ago in a galaxy far away. Yes, hit that like button. Let's see. I got my Highland mic for my phone and have been loving it. It's a great mic. I do like the Highland mic. I have, like I said, I have a DJI, so I can't justify it, so I have to stay where I'm at. That was fun. That was fun. I can relate to so many of those. If you bought a $20 and a $200 wireless mic just to test them for a YouTube video, you might be a content creator. Amen to that. Bye. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for coming by. Bye. Bye. Hit that like button for me. And here's an outro. Yeah, let's do an outro. Maybe. Maybe not. How about that one? There we go. Hey, if you see this square with me in it, it's because it hasn't processed yet, and I haven't put the amazing video that YouTube wants you to watch next. You should always trust YouTube as what you should watch next on my channel. So I hope you have a fantastic evening. And thanks for watching. Bye.